All right. Welcome, everybody, to the Entrepreneur Dojo. This is Dave Espino and my host, James Renouf. And we're excited today because we're just going to have a conversation. We're just going to do a little bit of a recap and see how it went for us this week. One of our goals here is to just be super transparent with you and just show you what's going on in our businesses. And so today we're just going to have like a normal conversation that James and I would have on the phone, except you guys get to listen in and get some of the insider secrets from things that we're actually doing right now. So hope you like that idea, and we'd love to hear your comments. Be sure to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you get notified of these every time we go live. We're going live every day, guys, so it's going to be awesome, and we really value your feedback, your input, so that we can make it really, really good. So having said that, I wanted to start off by talking to James because James launched a new product / course. It's funny because James, you call them products and I call them courses. But I came from the same, the same network that you're talking about. So when I go over to that network, I see product. They call it a product. So can you tell us, like, what do you think is the difference? Is there any kind of difference between a product and a course?
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I've never really thought about that difference. I mean, to me, it's the same thing. And it's interesting when you look at any kind of industry, you start to learn the lingo. Like when we say, for example, if I'm going to support you, I say, hey, Dave, I'm going to mail for you tomorrow. Right. I'm not sending you a mail. I'm sending you an email, but that's my way of saying I'm going to promote you. I'm going to mail for you. Or,
Yep.
I'm launching a product. All these little things but I've never really thought about it. I don't know where that came from, but yeah, obviously it's one of the same thing. But yeah, I had a product. Now you're making me think. I'm about to say course, but I had a product that came out, and we on this platform that I like, and we did pretty well. I think right now we've sold close to 1,200 units throughout the
Wow.
funnel in 2 days.
Nice.
So it's really cool. People getting results and in a brand new way. And so that's awesome. That's fun. I just found out that on that particular platform, I'm the number 15, top 15 vendor on that platform in the last 30 days. And I never really thought about my ranking and those things, but it's just kind of interesting. Sometimes when you think about numbers, I'm always trying to look at ways to motivate me, you
Right.
know. Just like when I talk to my wife, does some things online, and she's in the weight loss niche, and which is ironic because I need to lose a bunch of weight myself, but she lost 80 pounds, and she's always kind of comparing herself to other people in her market. And I say, it's fine to compare yourself as long as you're using that to help drive you. In other words, if someone's doing better than you, sometimes she'll look at someone, she's like, how is this person doing better than me? She's not well spoken, she's this, she's that. And I'm like, well, use that to say, instead of hating on that, say, man, I can do better because she's not as good in these spots. She's doing better than me. Let me use that to propel. So always trying to look at those positive things. So the
Yeah.
fact that I was number 15 in the last 30 days is not good, or it's not bad. It's just that, oh, you know what? Well, maybe I can get in the top 10, And if
Right.
I don't, I don't, but use those things. But yes, I did launch a product, and it went really well. And that's exciting because that's something I tend to do periodically, because I'm always looking at, there's that kind of notion of, well, should you launch products all the time, or should you stick with one product and move forward and kind of hone that? And that's something that we're doing here, Dave, is that we're right now, we're not selling anything. We're providing value, but this is something that we're working on daily. And this is something that I'm specifically, this is my aspect of where I'm focusing on something. And for example, today I have a new light source. So hopefully I look better. I have a brand new microphone.
Yep.
You can see things in my eyes, which may not be the best thing, but my next thing is, okay, I'm going to upgrade my camera because, I don't like Dave looking better than me on the camera, but honestly, those are
Yeah.
things we're making iterations. And then hopefully I look at this a year from now and say, gosh, I look so grainy now, I look better, and so on. So making those iterations with this, that's great. At the same time, I'm focused. I still do products all the time because I like new things. I like coming up with new things and putting them out there. So that was fun. And that was kind of my week this week. And Dave, I know you had a lot going on this week. So what was going on with you?
It has been a blur this week. It's been so busy, in a good way. It started last Friday morning when I got a Voxer message from Russell Brunson, and he said, "Hey, I'd like to know if you would like to create a course for us, for mastermind.com." And basically, what they found out is that a bunch of people that are coming into their website didn't know like the first thing about how to create a course, and they're an online course platform. And so I guess I came to mind, and he contacted me, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" I think I literally said that. I go, "Are you kidding me? Of course I want to do this." And so mastermind.com, for those that don't know, is a partnership between Tony Robbins, Russell Brunson, and Dean Graziosi. And you know what's funny, James, is I never know what order I should say those three names. So
Like,
I always,
are you offending someone by?
yeah, I always round robin them. So one time I'll say Russell first, then I'll say Tony first, then I'll say Dean first. So because it's probably all that matters is who did Dave say first, right? Like that's like the most important thing in their mind. But but it's so funny to be like just even mildly associated with them right now at this point, and it's such an exciting opportunity. But what they did basically have me doing now is I'm creating a course showing my online course creation format, how you create one, or how I do anyway. And then this afternoon, they had me go live into their Facebook group, which has 96,000 members, of their Build Your Brand Challenge that they did last week. And so these are 96,000 people that are in here wanting to learn how to create an online course. And guess who they chose? Me.
That's awesome, man.
I
And you know
mean,
what? They're doing that for a reason, Dave, because you know your stuff. But for people that don't know, Russell Brunson, the owner of ClickFunnels, which is almost the de facto tool that people are using for funnels for websites. Tony Robbins, I don't know that he might not need an introduction. And then you have Dean Graziosi, who's been on television for so many years, and he's really a marketer's kind of marketer in terms of direct response. He's at the very top level. And so, yeah, that's great company, Dave. That's awesome. 96,000. Did you say 96,000 people in the group?
They have 96,000 people in their Facebook group, which I believe means 96,000 people took the Build Your Brand Challenge over the last week or so, 2 weeks, I guess.
That's
and
unreal.
That shows the kind of pull that these guys have, the kind of influence that they have to be able to drive almost 100,000 people into a challenge, an online challenge.
Not just 100,000 people that saw their offer, 100,000 people that took them up on that offer.
Took them up on the offer. Can you imagine that? I mean, James, you and I, we'd be like dancing out in the street naked if that happened to us, right?
I'd be done. I said, I've done it. I'm the best marketer in the world. See you later.
Yeah, it'd be amazing. So what's awesome though is today I did just a live face to camera explanation of how I create courses. I had like basically I had a PowerPoint on my screen, which they couldn't see. I was using it as an outline as to what I was going to present, and I showed my framework, but it was all verbal. It was all live action spoken to camera. So no PowerPoints or whatever, because I'm working on the actual PowerPoints for the people who actually did buy the bundle. So there's two groups in this group. The 96,000 is all the people who were part of the challenge, and some of those people bought their bundle package. So the Facebook group got this free training today from me. And then the paid people, the people that bought the bundle, are going to get the more expanded training that I'm working on week by week by week. So literally this weekend, I'm going to be creating, I've already been creating, but I'm going to be putting these into video form and delivering them by Tuesday so that they have the first module dripped to their audience. And then every week, I'm going to basically be creating the next week and the next week for 4 weeks. And but I'll tell you what, man, it's been a blur, because when you suddenly get that little bit of exposure and people go, oh, wow, they chose this guy. Now, I may not know who this guy is, but suddenly I'm going to message him. I'm going to contact him. I'm going to find him on Facebook. I'm going to find him on YouTube. I'm going to go to his funnels. And
hey, Dave.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, man, how you doing?
Yeah. So funny. The people I hadn't heard from in forever,
Right.
right? Hey, Dave, long time no talk. But what's funny though, this is a total entrepreneur life, right? Check this part out. I'm getting people coming into my funnel now. But like a week or so ago, I archived some of my ClickFunnels funnels because I had my online course training here, there, everywhere. And I wanted to go, okay, I'm just going to create that one funnel and archive these other things. Well, the problem is when I archive these things, the links went bad. And I've got an email follow-up sequence going out to people,
Oh, bad timing.
and a bunch of people are going, "Hey, this takes me to a bad link, a bad page," and I'm like,
But
"But
it's kind of a good thing though, because it makes you realize, man, your funnel was hitting these people, and
yeah." But the bad thing about it is I have not even had the time to even think about fixing it. And so here I am, working for ClickFunnels, and my funnel's broken, and I don't even have the time to fix the funnel because I'm so busy, like just dealing with this new work that's coming in. So it's been funny, man. It's been like, okay, all right, Saturday, first thing, I'm gonna fix the dang funnel. I'm gonna make sure that all the links work, so I don't look unprofessional.
right.
But yeah, of all the weeks to archive a funnel, I did it right before Russell contacted me and gave me this opportunity. So
But but in a sense, it's a good thing, for you. I mean, you're always busy. You have a lot going on, but what is that saying? If you want to get something done, give it to a busy person. You know what I mean?
exactly.
So you're doing some big things, and this in the Entrepreneur Dojo is part of that. So not only do you have your normal business, then you're doing all this stuff with those three guys. You just started up a new YouTube well, it's not a new YouTube channel, but new premise here where we're working on the
Yep.
Entrepreneur Dojo. You're just going,
Going
sailing.
nonstop, man, all cylinders. I thought I had 8 cylinders, but it looks like I have 12. I didn't know I had another 4 cylinders in reserve, right? But
But when you think about it, like someone, there's a whole thing of like you have your 4-hour work week over here, and then you've got your grind kind of thing, like a Gary Vaynerchuk on the other side. And trying to find that work-life balance, and then are you all in? And it's like, but if you look at somebody like Dean Graziosi or any of these guys, yeah, they have a team, and they have a lot going on, but at the same time they're going all the time.
yep.
And it's just money loves speed, and that's what you're doing. You're executing, and things are happening.
Yeah.
So that to me, that's an awesome feeling when it's like you're busy because you have things to do, rather than you're just kind of sitting and saying, I got to come up with something, I'm trying to figure something out. You're kind of not even there right now because you're like, I'm doing this. Okay, James, you want to change this with the entrepreneur Dojo? Okay, real quick changes, because you're in that flow right now. You're kind
Yeah.
of in a flow state.
Yeah, it is a flow state. And I'll tell you what, I totally agree with you. I think because I got a little bit too carried away watching YouTube videos every evening. Okay. I'll be honest. I mean, I still love, like, I'm the guy who would, when Blockbuster was around, I would go to the special interest section and find a documentary on some topic I'd never heard of or something. And I do the same with YouTube videos, and I watch YouTube pretty obsessively.
Yeah, me too.
But this has got me going, you know what? This is a lot more fun than watching YouTube videos.
Meanwhile, we're trying to get people to watch our YouTube videos, which is
Right. Right. And we will. And we will. I have no doubt. We're going to get, we're literally one email away. Each of us all we need to do is send an email to our lists and invite them. And we will. We're just dialing things in this week.
And well, today, Dave, I mentioned this to you earlier, but just for people that are watching, what are we doing? What are we trying to do to get the word out specifically about Entrepreneur Dojo? Well, and I stammer over that when I say it. I don't know why it's not flowing off my mouth yet, but
it will.
Yes. And, I have Facebook groups, and I let people know, hey, got this, I say, new YouTube channel. And then I had 3 or 4 people reach out to me and say, new YouTube channel, did you buy it from Dave? Because it's all Dave Espino. Dave Espino said, no, we're working on it. Like, they weren't excited about this premise. They're like, well, these are all Dave's videos. What do you mean your channel? That's why I asked you. I said, can you put my name in the description?
Yeah,
But getting the word out there, then I'll put it on my Facebook wall. Then I'm going to let people know on my email list, and so on and so on and so on
yep,
and so on and so forth. And at the same time, promotion is huge. But you and I are both really cognizant and aware of our quality and getting our message out there. And in a sense, we feel like it's going to come from the quality alone. At the same time, marketing obviously helps, and we're gonna try and get as many eyeballs to this as we can, because we feel like we're bringing out great information. So
yep,
it was nice to see, though, our first few videos some of them are close to 100 views already,
yeah.
just starting out, and then soon it'll be 1,000 views, and so on. And getting people on live watching has been awesome. But it's been a great week. I mean, think about it. Another part of this week has been, this is our first week that we did Entrepreneur Dojo on top of everything
Right.
else.
That's right. I mean, let's not let that slide by the wayside. We started a whole new movement here, and as humble beginnings as it is, it's going to grow into a really big movement, I believe, because the premise behind Entrepreneur Dojo is, I think of it as like this whole kung fu scene in the old kung fu movies where you got like 24 warriors. They're all in formation, and then they're all like doing their moves and everything, and they're all training for war, right? Well, I feel like this is what we are doing at Entrepreneur Dojo, is we are training people for war, and not the bad war, but fighting for their future, fighting for their dreams. Really, that's why do we get into entrepreneurship? Why do we become an entrepreneur? Why do we go online and make money online? It's for our family. It's for our future. It's to achieve those dreams that we have, and yeah, I think you have to have that fighter spirit. So
And
that's kind
honing
of the
your skills.
premise.
Well, that was a big thing. We haven't actually. That's a good point. We haven't really explained, why did we come up with Entrepreneur Dojo, that whole notion. And you already hit on a bunch of points. But it's also, again, we're a community. We're here and we're trying to lead it. But it's not just about us per se. It's about bringing a community together where we're all honing our skills, and talking about new topics and new strategies all the time. What's worked in the past, what we think is going to work in the future, what's working now, as a collective, as a group. And then we're all going to rise with that,
Yeah,
because we feel that this is much bigger than just ourselves. This is bringing a place where like-minded people can come together and share those ideas.
exactly. Yeah. And just to do a quick, since today is called Friday Recap, we actually have had our very first video. We had 55 views. Our second video, and that's funny, that started on September 1st. September 2nd was our second video, 47 views. September 3rd was our third video, 77 views. So we're creeping up. And I think yesterday the title helped a lot, how to
Yeah.
make $26,000, right? Those titles help a lot. We haven't gotten our thumbnail game down just yet for making killer thumbnails for this. Probably what we'll do, I think, is just have some photos done of us individually, and then pop those into the thumbnails. I have a graphic artist that can do that stuff. And but we're going to take you behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, all over the scenes. You guys are going to see everything we're doing. Just like we just shared our numbers here, we're going to share everything that's happening in our world, and everything that's happening in the internet marketing world as well. And
We're
but
going to also
today,
have, sorry, go ahead, Dave.
yeah, today was crazy, James, because I'm in this live. I'm doing this live, and I couldn't see the comments going through. So I just went and did my training
Your
for about an
Facebook
hour.
live. Your Facebook live.
Facebook, yeah, Facebook. And they had somebody in the production studio at Dean Graciosi's office. So it was fed through a Skype connection to their office, and then they broadcast it live from their Facebook group. Weird setup. But what happened was, for some reason, the green screen was really bad, and it showed like artifact. It wasn't that bad, really. It showed artifacts. Like if I move my arm, it might not show some of my hand.
Kind of like my screen right now.
Kind of like that, yeah. And so it was interesting, though, how many people were complaining about that in the chat
Oh, wow.
afterwards, and how many people were loving and raving about the content. And I just thought it was interesting, the contrast between the people
Right.
who complained about the production quality versus the people who were just
Content.
like, this is amazing, Dave. Now I'm clear. I'm ready to go forward. I'm ready to charge for it. I'm going to create my courses. And they're like, oh, wow, I could turn a PowerPoint into a course. I got a ton of PowerPoints, from
What they
presenting live.
focused on. What they focused on.
Yeah, what they focused on was interesting, the psychology of it, and then people going, well, is this what he uses to create courses? Because it was pretty bad, right? And stuff like that. So you have to be able to, like, if you're in a Facebook Live where you're dealing with every range of emotion and every range of response, you have to be able to have a thick skin and go, hey, that's just them, cool.
But you also have however many thousand. Do you know how many people were actually watching live? Do you know that number?
The reach, it said reach 7,600.
You had 70. That's right. You had 7,600 people watching you live in that group. That is incredible.
Yeah.
When you think about a webinar, there's ways that you can get, 10,000 people on a webinar with GoToWebinar and so on if you broadcast. But the big number for people for a while, and still is can you get 1,000 people on a webinar? Right. And I know yours is a training, whatever you want to call it. But still, 7,600 people watching you live is a pretty staggering number. Now, no matter how many people you had, but if you have 7,600 people, you're going to have some people that are like, I don't care what you do, Dave. You could be giving away free money and people are like, well, this guy, why is he giving us away free money? He's, you're going to have a negative group of people there,
sure,
no matter what. But that's incredible. So were you able to see the comments while it was happening?
I probably could have if I knew how to do it, but I didn't know how to do it. And I just told them up front, I'm going to be, I'll be reading the comments afterwards because I want to focus on my presentation. But for future ones, they're going to have moderators that are going to be answering questions while I do it. And the good thing I think about that there was artifacts in the green screen and that kind of thing is that they thought, you know what, next time let's do this in the ClickFunnels office to make sure we have more control over production. And I'm like, yeah.
But again, it's just like this. This isn't perfect, this setup. And then there's a lot that I want to do, and I want to get a better camera, and I will be getting a better camera and all kinds of things in our format. We're talking about, are we going to bring on people to interview and all these things as we grow? Well, just like your first performance there, you're in front of 7,600 people. Okay. Maybe you were at 85% of where you needed to be, whatever. And you did it. And next time you're 90% because you're in a better, you're moving, you're morphing based on the scenario. It's just not like you're not like, oh my gosh, I need 2 months to prepare to get in front of 7,600 people. You just did it. Yeah. And that's for a lot of people, no matter where they are. Sometimes they just, especially if they're trying to do something new, they just I think that's a lot of times the success comes down to stuff that we already know. We just know it. It's like, you got to jump in, get your feet wet, but people don't want to hear that. They're always kind of looking for the secret sauce, and that's part of marketing is giving secrets and so on. But a lot of times it's like, get in there, take your lumps, make your mistakes, understand you're going to fail on some level. Do your best to correct it and move on. And really, and we mentioned this in another video, it's almost like a war of attrition. It's just, can you keep going and keep going and keep going? Can
you outlast everybody else?
That's right.
That's half of this. I think that's at least 50-60% of winning is just outlasting everybody. I got some actual stats here I'm looking at for that particular live that I did. 7,730 people reached, 10,610 post engagement, active members at time of post 91,000, 288 likes, 222 loves, 1 haha. These are the emoticons. 3 angry.
What was that one haha? What funny thing did you say that made them laugh?
Oh, who knows? I mean, I actually don't remember saying. I'm sure I said something funny. I made a few little jokes, but it's the number of negatives are minuscule compared to the number of positives.
That's good.
3,398 comments.
Wow, 3,000. You said 3,000 comments?
3,398 comments.
Wow.
23 shares. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's just like,
that's unreal. It's
like being discovered all over again. Like when I was discovered, I call it being discovered for the infomercial. It's almost that same kind of feeling like, things are about to get big here.
Well, yeah, and it is, you're playing with fire, and you're doing good stuff, and obviously you can bring them great content. And so where does that take you?
That's the main thing. That's the main thing for me was I read through all the comments and I answered most of them, at least liked, the ones, and I answered a bunch of them because the goal here is to keep people inspired, keep them excited, keep them in the trial so that they get some good results and that kind of thing. And so that was, I felt like that was part of my role, is to answer as many of those comments as possible. But as quick as I was answering them, there were more and more, coming in. So I was like, okay, I got to stop and let's go do our live so that we
Right.
can, so we can stay true to our commitment. But it's been amazing, dude. It's been a fun week.
What
And
a week, huh?
yeah, crazy. I mean, a week of new beginnings, if you think about it. So starting Entrepreneur Dojo, starting working with mastermind.com, creating courses for them, creating training for them, and then getting this new visibility at a higher level. I can't tell you how many friend requests I got like crazy. And I'm almost at my limit of friend, the 5,000 friend number.
Right.
So I've always been very careful to curate, meaning only accept friend requests from people who have a lot of mutual friends
Right.
in the ClickFunnels world. That's kind of one of my parameters. Now, in the early days, of course, I wasn't looking at it that way. I just looked at if people knew me or if I knew them. But now it's, I got a bunch of friend requests, haven't even had time to look at that stuff. But it's an interesting phenomenon, man, when you get called up. It reminds me, James, of I don't know if you've seen the movie The Rookie.
No,
It's a baseball movie. Are you into sports at all?
a little bit.
A little bit? You
I
say
play.
that like you say
I
like you're a lot into sports.
Yeah, I wasn't. I'm a hockey fan, and I played rugby, and this is a long time ago. But go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so it's a baseball movie. I'm not a fan. I'm not a baseball fan, but the movie is great. It's let's see, is it Dennis Quaid? Pretty sure it's Dennis Quaid. And he plays a baseball player who, when he
Oh,
was
and he's
young,
older. He's like 35 or something like that.
yep, yep.
Okay,
When he
I
was
haven't seen.
young, he would pitch really amazing fastballs, and then he got injured. His shoulder got injured, and many years later, I'm not going to tell the whole story, but he has a chance at the minor leagues. And so one of the moments in that movie that really gets me is when he finds out that he's being called into the major leagues. And it's such an emotional moment because he thought he was washed up. He thought, like, it's over, you know, I'm just doing this on a dare. And he gets called up and he gets to pitch in the major leagues, which was his dream originally when he was a kid. And I think of that moment in that movie, and I'm like, man, that's what this feels like to me. Feels like I'm getting called up. And
Yeah, and
now I
you
gotta
because you've had that success. Well, you've had success for a long time, but I meant, like, with your infomercial was.
the really big success, right? And so it feels like that. It feels like, all right, Dave's getting another chance, and better not blow it. The pressure's on.
Well, it's funny. Just another little thing that I thought of when you were saying, all of a sudden you got in front of all these people, and all these people all of a sudden kind of reach out to you and so on. It reminds me of this thing that Eddie Murphy said one time, and he's talking about fame and so on, and being on television.
Yep.
And he goes, it's something to the effect of, if you had a cantaloupe and you put this cantaloupe on some channel on cable, like channel 68 was all they did 24 hours a day was show this cantaloupe. And they never said why. It's just 24 hours a day, they're showing that cantaloupe. And then one day, a guy and his buddy are at the local mall, and on display is the cantaloupe with like some light on it and so on. As they walk by, one buddy would say to the other, say, "Hey man, that's that cantaloupe."
That's
You know
right.
what I mean? Like, it's so stupid, but people would do that. They'd say,
Yeah.
"That's that cantaloupe. It's on channel 68." And that's it's kind of what you're experiencing. You get in front of people, and again, obviously, you're bringing good value, and what you there's so much that you can do to help people. But it's nice when you get the light shine on you for a little bit, and people are like, "Oh, okay, this guy's There's
Yeah.
something to this guy here, and hey, that's great, because you deserve that, and more people should know about you. And again, that's why it's so amazing with what we're doing here with the Entrepreneur Dojo, is that content like this, real content, where we're not selling anything,
Yep.
where we're not every day it's like, oh, do this, and here's the new this and this and this. We're talking from the heart, where we can be just transparent, good, bad, and the
Yep.
ugly. And I
Yep.
think people really kind of want that right now. They're kind of so sick of the gurus and the people that haven't been around, and all of a sudden they're selling some course or whatever. This is us being as authentic as we can be, and I think a lot of people, we're going to attract people that are gonna like that.
Yeah. Yeah. The good thing about publishing, and that's what they call this in the ClickFunnels world, publishing, is in other words, doing a live or doing a Facebook or doing an Instagram post or whatever, but consistently. The good thing about publishing is it raises the public's awareness of you. You start to become known. It raises the know, like, and trust factor, where people start to trust you more. They're like, oh, okay, I know, and they get to know you more. And the other thing is that you end up building a platform where other experts, people in your dream 100, meaning people
Yeah.
that you want to associate with or build relationships with, it gives you a platform for them to want to be on. Like once we get this thing up to 96,000 subscribers or whatever, once we get this thing up to, 100,000, views, likes, whatever, we're going to be the place where people want to be interviewed. We're going to be the place where people want to appear because we have that platform.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing. I feel like this is an awesome lesson. People are going to come back to these early episodes and go, gee, how did they get started? And it's like,
Right. They're
wow.
going to watch us build it. They see, oh, okay,
Yeah.
they made these moves here, and
we're going to report all that too. We're going to tell you what we did. Like if suddenly we have 500 views, and say, well, we sent an email to our lists. We felt like we're now ready, and we got a killer topic that we really want people to come and see, and that's what we did. And now we went from 77 to 500, right, or whatever. But I think they'll also get hope by going, wow, their first episode, they only had 55 views. 3 days later, now they get 55 views, every 20 minutes or whatever, every minute. So yeah, and I think people need to see that, because all they see is boom, success, boom, and so you can easily trick your mind into thinking, oh, well, they're just a natural. Oh, they just had it. They had it, whatever it was. No, man, everybody starts the same way.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is consistency, and it's hard to do, and it's something that you and I are really adamant about making happen, is consistent content. And I think, especially on a platform like YouTube, we're going to be live for the foreseeable future, and hopefully around the same time we're going to get better with that. But it's just, people typically on YouTube, if they start to follow somebody, they may or not come on every show, but they want to know this. Hey, there's not a video here a month, and then 3 weeks later there's a video. It's like, look, if I'm into this,
Yep.
I want there to be consistent content. And I think that's another reason why some people are going to resonate with this.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. What a week, man. I mean, I'm very excited for you, Dave. And I also had a good week, but I'm really happy with, well, obviously Entrepreneur Dojo from my side and the product that I released, but man, you getting to hang out with these guys that are just A-level guys. And that's just awesome. So congratulations.
Thanks, man. Thanks. What's funny is Dean had sent me a Voxer message, a text message, saying, I remember when we had, basically said, I remember we had both of our shows running side by side. And I'm like, that's awesome. Because
tell Dean to call me. He hasn't called me since our infomercial.
I will. Like, Dean, isn't it time you called James Renouf back? It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been 10 years, man. Where you been?
Hey, Dean, has anything changed since my infomercial? Yeah.
Hey, funny. But things come around, and it's so funny. Like you had your infomercial same time as him, and you didn't know each other, but then it's like that's in the back of his mind. It's like, oh yeah, man, I remember. You like, you
Yeah.
just don't know how things are gonna.
How things are going to play out.
Yeah,
Yeah. The one thought I had was because I see this picture in the Build Your Brand Challenge. I see this picture of Tony, Dean, and Russell, right? And I go, what do I have in common with these guys? And then I realized, you know what? All four of us have had an infomercial. Russell also had an infomercial.
really, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but it didn't go very far. Well, it didn't, it didn't end up going. But all four of us have had that experience, which is interesting. And now you too.
Yeah,
So,
I'm right there with the four of you guys.
so it's pretty awesome. And then, of course, the other, I mean, who knows what other, you know, similarities, but clearly not in the financial department just yet. But we're working on it.
Yeah, we're working hard, and again, just being around. And we mentioned, I don't know if we went. I'm starting to forget all the things we mentioned in our last one, but I know you and I have talked about this, about getting around people that are where you aspire to be. And in terms of the marketing world, I can't see three better guys. You
Yeah.
know, I mean,
Yeah.
there's some other, Joe Polishes and other people like that. Dan Kennedy's, Dan Sullivan's. I mean, the list goes on and on. But these three guys, do big things, period.
Yeah.
They know how to get an audience. They know how to make sales, direct to consumer, Russell Brunson with recurring billing and so on. So the more time you can get in their world and being a part of that world and providing value, you're just going to learn so much, either directly or through osmosis. I mean, and I
Yeah.
feel like in a way, just in this 1 week, and again, you've been around for a long time, you've done some amazing things, but even in this 1 week, you're all these things that you're doing in this, I don't even know if you realize this level. It's like you just leveled up, and it's not like you thought about it. It was just it just happened. It was just kind of organic. It's like, okay, I'm doing this, I got this on the go, and I'm all right. Yeah. And I was talking to Dean Graziosi, and then I was talking to Russell. No, I was in front of 7,600 people. It's like a month ago, I'd be like, hey, slow down. What did you just say? Now you're just kind of like, oh yeah, this happened. Like you're just kind of in that moment.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like you're trucking along like this, and all of a sudden, boom.
Yeah. And now you're up here and you're looking at it and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm flying now. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
How did I get here?
Yeah. And it's like you're operating at this level, and because now let's get back to the dojo, because you've trained so hard here,
Exactly.
because you've had the stability, the discipline, the stability, the training, the ups and downs, the hardships, the blessings. When you're here, it doesn't feel out of place. It feels actually very comfortable. It feels very, very
Right.
okay. Like if if I would have known, I didn't know what to expect, but if I would have known that it was going to be, 7,700 people watching my video, and I were way down here, I'd be like so nervous and freaking
Right.
out and just like, what am I going to say?
This
But
is
no,
natural.
very natural. I took my webinar that I've done so many times, repurposed some of that content, brought it here because I knew the purpose of today's video was to keep people fired up, keep them excited about the online course business, keep those people that went and did the trial, keep them excited to stay in the trial. And if that was my purpose, then what better way to do it than with my webinar? And so I took some of the best bits out of my webinar, put them into this presentation. And because I've trained and done my webinar so many times, easy. And
Yeah, like there's that saying, it's something like, I don't fear the man that's practiced 10,000 kicks one time. I fear the man that's practiced one kick 10,000 times. And that's what you've been doing all these years. You're a 20-year overnight success, and you've been kicking and kicking and kicking.
yeah.
And now you have that moment, you're in the street, and all of a sudden you do that kick, and you knock the guy out. But you've been, you didn't just do that kick the first time. You've been doing this kick, practicing this kick for 20 years or however many years.
Yeah. What's awesome to me is getting complimented from Dave Woodward, telling him hit it out of the park. People are raving about it. I don't know him that well, but I get the sense that he's not an easy guy to please. And to get that affirmation from him was so powerful, so good for me to hear that, yeah, you did a good job. Awesome. Keep at it. And so that was, to me, that was like the the main barometer of whether I did okay or not, was can I get a good word from Dave? If I can get a good word from Dave, I'm doing good. So
Right. Whereas if you messaged him and then all of a sudden he's not reading your message, that's a bad sign. But he said, good job. And I'm sure you did a good job. I'm sure you rocked it, and again, I mean, that's what you do. You bring, just like today, we're bringing great content. Absolutely. I'm sure they loved it, because why
Yeah.
wouldn't
It was also great to see people that I know, people that I coach, people that I know from, all different walks of life, people that are already on my friends list and everything. It was great to see them cheering me on and, talking about how good Dave
awesome.
is and blah, blah, blah. That was awesome. So
Well,
all in all, a great week, James.
What a week. What a week. And I hope that this becomes an average week for you.
Yeah.
But it's been awesome. And just to bring it back to this channel, this is our 4th live.
Yep.
And it's going to be amazing as we keep doing this. And if you're watching this, please like and subscribe and click that bell and let your friends know about it. If you like what we're doing, share it. Tell people about it. Say, hey, these guys are coming at it real. They're talking about marketing from their perspective in a real way. They're not being pushy. They're not being fake. They're being real. And to us, that's refreshing. So if you like this kind of content, which we hope you do, we'd love to see you watch it, but let your friends know, because we want to build this community of more and more real people that are trying to do things online.
For sure. I think that's a great way to finish up today, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is a Friday, so we should take a little bit of a break and go watch our own YouTube videos.
Right. It's funny. I actually watched one of our, I'm spending enough time making these, and then I'm like watching what we just did. It's like, I don't know. So I'm watching my own videos through, because I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying this experience. And
same here. I watch. I'm not afraid to admit. I watched. I turned it on. I was like, I wonder what it looked like. I wonder how we came across. Especially because I watch so many YouTube videos of other people. Right. So I like to kind of try and compare. Are we providing value or providing good content? Is it interesting? I don't know. I mean, I don't consider myself an entertaining person. But if somebody's interested in internet marketing, they're not going to find this level of authenticity, this level of truth, very many places on YouTube. I'll tell you that, because most of the people doing videos on YouTube, they're trying to launch jack a product. They're trying to make affiliate commissions off of this, or they're trying to promote their course or their product or whatever. Totally okay. But very few people are being real about what's happening in the internet marketing world and how it actually works. Very few people like that. So we're hoping and we're believing that this is going to resonate with those people who really want to do something with their lives, who really want to make money online, to learn from 2 old school masters who've done it. We've sold just about everything you can imagine on the internet, and we've sold multiple different ways. Both of us have created dozens of products and courses. So who better to learn from than people who are really in the trenches, really doing it, and have really succeeded at it? So that's what I'm looking forward to, is sharing that and then building our tribe. Our tribe is coming. They just don't know it yet. They just need to run across one of our videos and go, dang, these guys know their stuff.
Got other videos, and and that's exactly how it starts. And when that tipping point comes, it's going to be amazing. And we had some people with live comments on the other video, and we want you to leave your comments. Tell us that you like it. Tell us that you like it. Tell us what you'd love us to talk about. Start to interact with us, because we want to see that. We want to get to know you as the audience. And because we could talk on so much marketing, we can, as you can see, we could talk about it for hours every day. So because that's what we're all about. And so it's not hard for us to come up with topics, but if there's something that you'd like to hear about, we're going to talk about it. So just keep that dialogue going, because it's not just us. It's this community that's bigger than us that we're growing. So we're glad that you're a part of it.
Totally. Well, on that note, I'm going to sign off with everybody. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for joining us in the comments. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And look forward to seeing you all on Monday. We're going to take the weekend off and come back on Monday with some good stuff. We may even have an interview next week. I'm trying to line up an interview with a real old school master that is going to knock your socks off. He's got the most amazing stories of the early days of internet marketing, even including some Frank Kern stories that just make me bust up laughing every time I hear them. So you're not going to want to miss that. So anyway, I want to wish you all a great weekend. Thank you, James, for joining me. It's been awesome.
My pleasure.
And we'll see you all next week. Have
See
a
you
good one.
later. Bye.